Okay, so in the last session we just gone through item attributes, the status attributes and operational attributes and other definitions, unit of measurement and life cycle phases, and the same item attributes active, from where we can create all these points we have seen. So along with that, sorry, so we created, one second, second please. It's not working. One second please. Okay, so in the last session we discussed about item attributes. So we just gone through status attributes, operational attributes, how those are grouped, and at the time of item creation, so user type, items, the naming conventions, how we can provide life cycle phases and other definitions, unit of measurement, few other points also we discussed. Along with that, what we did, we created, we have seen the process of how to create item templates, how to create item templates the same way, how to copy and create new template from existing template, and we have seen how to create multiple items at a time. Okay, how to create multiple items at a time. These are the points just we gone through in the last session. So in the today's session we'll see how to load the items. When I talk about loading the items, basically we load the items at the time of implementation, so as a part of data conversions. So the data conversions in Fusion applications you can handle by using the template called as FBDI. FBDI stands for file based data import. Okay, file based data import. By using the file based data import process, we can load any transactional transactional master data in the system. Okay, in EBS what we do, if you want to execute this data conversions, we follow certain process. First what we do is, in case of EBS, first we have to prepare the template, right? Prepare data templates. You may prepare data templates for items or suppliers or customers, other open transactions. But in case of EBS, first we have to prepare the templates. After preparing the templates, we have to collect the data from business. We'll share the templates with the business. We'll just explain the templates and each and every column which we specified to get the data from their legacy system, or say the system what the client is using before moving into Fusion applications or EBS applications. We have to explain those templates in each and every column within the template, and we can just ask them to provide the data. We collect the data. After collecting the data, we have to share these templates with technical team. Share templates with technical. Okay, technical consultants. What they do is they'll convert they'll convert templates into flat files or say CSV, comma separated value. So they convert the templates into CSV files or any format of flat files. After that, they do lot of coding. Okay, they do lot of coding. Why they do the coding? And before that, before they do the coding, the technical team, they'll create staging tables. They create the staging tables, then they move the data from these flat files to staging tables. With the coding, they do the coding for that, right? They do coding. With the help of the coding or say programming, they move data from say CSV files to staging tables. After moving the data from flat files to staging tables, they have to perform the validations. They have to validate the data which is available within the staging tables. They'll perform the validation. For validation purpose also, they have to write a lot of coding. Once data is validated, again the next step is they have to move the data from staging to interface table. The technical team, what they do, they move data from staging tables to interface tables. To perform this activity also, they have to write the coding. Okay, here for validation purpose also they do write the coding. And to move the data from the data which is validated within the staging tables, to move the data to interface tables, they have to do a lot of programming. Once data is populated in the interface tables from the staging tables, we can import data into base tables by running the standard programs. Here, as a functional consultant, we involve in template preparation and collecting the data. Finally, it's all about submitting the job. Yes, we can submit the job or call it as program. The rest of all these core activities should be performed by technical consultant, irrespective of application. You may do these conversions for inventory or purchasing or payables or receivables. Whatever the data conversions we do, this is a standard process we follow in EBS. The majority of tasks or say work will be executed by technical resource. Without technical resource, we cannot complete this task. Being a functional consultant, we can prepare the templates and we can collect the data, and the rest of work need to be executed by technical resource. When you talk about the data conversions in the Fusion applications, this process Oracle made very simple. In case of Fusion, how this can be executed and who can do it? In case of EBS, the functional team and technical team should involve in this process. When I talk about Fusion applications, we don't require any technical resource to execute these conversions. So in case of EBS, what we are doing, we are preparing the data templates. Here you no need to prepare the data templates. Okay, the Oracle is providing the templates. Just you have to download the templates. Okay, say download data templates. So we no need to create, just we have to download the data templates. From where we have to download? From OER. OER stands for Oracle Enterprise Repository. OER stands for Oracle Enterprise Okay, we have Oracle Enterprise Repository. From Oracle Enterprise Repository OER, we can download the templates. After downloading the templates, we have to collect the data from the business. That anyway we have to do it. We may create the templates or else we may use the templates which are provided by Oracle. We have to collect the data. Collect data from business.
Hi Lakshman, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my computer, it is the voice problem, so I connected from other laptop.
Fine, no issues. Okay, collect data from business. After that, we no need to share any templates with the technical team. What we can do is, after collecting the data or after preparing the templates with the data, we can convert the template into CSV file format. Say convert templates into CSV format. Okay, CSV file format. So within those templates, you can see the option called as convert as CSV file. Okay, we'll see that. After converting the file into CSV format, system will create CSV files and automatically those files system will take into zip file. Okay, it will convert into CSV, the same file it will take into zip file. Once this is done, we have to place these files into UCM. Say upload CSV files to UCM. UCM stands for Universal Content Management. Any data uploads, we use this process to upload the data or to import the data. Okay, this is similar to a staging concept. In case of EBS traditional process of data conversions, the technical team creates staging tables to keep the data temporary purpose where we can perform the validations. Similar to that, the CSV files which consist of data you can place in the UCM in the respective account. Within the UCM we have a different accounts. So based on the data file, you have to place that file in the respective account. Okay, we'll see when we are going to work on that process. So as a point, remember within the UCM we have to place the file. So now if you are going to place the file related to items, we have a separate account for item which is related to inventory. So that's how we have to place the files. So when you are placing the file in the UCM, there won't be any validation, just keeping the file ready to take to the next step. That's all. After that, we have to populate the data. Whatever the CSV files we are placing in the UCM, within that files will have a data. The data we have to populate in the interface tables. The next step would be populate data in interface tables. You have to populate the data in interface tables. Okay, so this logic is applicable for any data. Same process we follow. We have to populate the data in interface tables. Which data? The data which is available in this CSV files, CSV format files. After populating the data in the interface tables, we have to import data into base tables. That's all. So this is a process we have to follow to execute data conversions and fusion applications. There is no technical effort required to perform these data conversions. The data conversions may be related to master data or transactional data. Same process we follow. The templates which Oracle is providing, those are very much validated templates. So most of the fields including descriptive flex fields also you can find within the template. So the templates matches to the our Fusion database tables. Based on the database structure, the table structure, they created these templates. So all the fields which you find within the table level, all the fields you can find within these templates. Depending on which data you are importing, you can find the templates, and you can prepare the templates with the data, and you can convert the templates into CSV files, and those you can place in the UCM. And the files which are there in the UCM, within the files whatever the data we have, those we can populate into interface tables. Once data is available in the interface tables, we can import the data into base tables. This is a process we have to follow for any conversions. So any questions on this, please?
Where data is validated in Fusion?
Sorry?
Where data validation will happen in Fusion?
See, data validation, when you try to populate the data in the interface table, in the interface tables level, there will be validation. And other validation, when once data is available in the interface, certain fields data cannot be validated until unless you submit the import process into application. That's all. The templates itself, validated templates, that means they made which field should be mandatory, which is optional. So based on that, you can provide the data. There itself you can enter the very much validated records based on the format of the templates and fields which Oracle is providing. Still, if you have some issues, those can be identified when you try to populate the same data in interface table level, interface tables. And any other further validations fails, that you can find out when you import the data into base tables from interface tables. Okay, you cannot write your additional validations. Okay, so templates itself, validated templates in the two steps. When you are populating the interface tables, validation will come into picture. When you try to import into base tables, further validation will come into the picture. When data is there in the interface table, just system will verify the respective fields or say for mandatory fields data is available or not, and certain formats, the date format and other formats also system verifies. More than that, system cannot conduct any validation. The rest of validations will come into the picture when you try to import the data into base tables. Simple example, when you are loading the items, so as a part of this item template, we have to provide your item master organization name and item class and unit of measurement and lot of other information. When you keep the data in the template level, by following the format, just you can see the format of the fields and you can enter the data. So what information you should include to import the items into application. Say you just enter some data, there is no validation, whatever the data you are going to enter, system will accept. When you try to populate the same data in the interface level based on the fields mandatory and optional, system will have a validation. Okay, you entered. Now you are trying to import the same data into base table. Say the data what you enter in the template, there is some invalid data. Say for example, whatever the item class you specified against the specific item record, that is not available within the application. When you try to import the same data into base tables, the validation will fail. System will identify the item class is not available within the application, or unit of measurement whatever you provided, that is not available. That's how just it will have validation and it will give the result. So what's wrong with that record? So this sort of validation we can see. You cannot go with additional validations here. Okay, only the option is we have to use Oracle provided templates only. If you are going with a on-premise, instead of going with a cloud, you can go with your own approach and you can just do whatever we do in EBS case. In EBS, what practice we follow, the same practice we can implement since you are going to use on-premise Fusion applications. In case of cloud, this is the option which we use. Okay, any other questions here, please?
Lakshman, how
Yeah,
do we
Lakshman, like,
correct the error record?
Yep.
good boss.
Lakshman, how do we correct the error record?
Yeah, Kulkarni, go ahead.
Lakshman, like, if you look at the challenges, most of the challenges we face with legacy conversion is like data with invalid characters that we do in EBS, like we replace those using PL SQL, right?
Yeah.
What do you recommend? Like,
Here only the point is everything, all the validations you have to take outside of the system only before you get the data into the templates. That's all. Okay.
So what you're recommending is we need data cleanup.
It's not my recommendation. This is a practice we follow. This is the option which is available to execute this. So before you get the data into template, you can do your external validations. What approach you follow, that is up to you. Okay. Get validated data into templates. Then following this process, you can execute the conversions. That's all. Fine.
After importing, during import, if the record gets failed, so where can we see those error records and how can we correct them in the system?
Yeah. So when you are submitting the process, say when data is available in the UCM as a part of CSV files, that is just record without validation. When you are populating the data into interface tables, these files, when you are populating the data in interface tables, if anything wrong with those records, system will generate the log file. System will create the log file. You can go and correct those files, and you can go and correct the data, and again you have to resubmit the process. Again you have to corrected file you can place in the UCM, then you can populate the data in the interface. Okay, and say you have a data in the interface level. If you want to see the data which is there in the interface level, only the option is you have to go and write a query. You have to write the query to fetch and see the data which is available, which data is available in the interface table level. Just if you want to see, if any data is available in the interface table level with some error, that you can find when you submit that data from interface to base table. Say you have a data in the interface tables level without any issues, and now the same data you are trying to import into base tables. When you submit the import process which will move the data from interface tables to base tables, what you could do is system will generate the log file. So what are the issues we have with those data, and you can just go and do verify. So in this process only the system will have a validation with the data which is available in the application. The data which is there in the interface table, when you're trying to import the data into base tables, which values are not available, or if any other definitions are not available, that it will show. In that case, what we do, we'll be correcting the issues from the application side. Say the unit of measurement is not available, system may give the message this unit of measurement is invalid. Then we'll go and verify that is available or not in the application. If it is not available, we'll just correct it, we'll create it, and again we'll resubmit the process. That's how we can do it. The option is to see the data which is available in the interface table is we have to write a SQL query. And again, when you talk about writing the SQL queries to fetch the data which is available in the database, we cannot write the queries from external tools like Toad or some other tools. So you can write the queries within the application only. They provide a BI catalog environment. From that environment, we can just go and write the queries. I'll take you through the process. We have to understand the basic BI report definition. So at that time, I'll just show you the navigation, how to write the SQL queries, how to fetch the result into the report definition. We'll see all those points. Okay. So this is how you can just manage this process. Any other questions, please? Fine, we'll go ahead and we'll see this process, how it works. In between, if you have any questions, yes, we'll discuss. First, we have to download the data templates. Fine. So anyone can go and download. No login credentials are required. Search for Oracle OER, Oracle Enterprise Repository. Oracle Enterprise Repository for Oracle Fusion Applications. Just click on this link. So we need template related to items. The items template would be part of supply chain management. The inventory, purchasing, order management, all those templates should be available under supply chain management. For procurement, they're given separate section to find the templates or any relevant data. Just click on supply chain management tab. So under the tab, you can see file-based data import. So now we are working on which version? Release 13. Okay, we are working on release 13 version. So the templates which you are going to download, you have to download based on the version of application which you are using. If you are working on release 12, you have to go with this link to download the templates. Now we are working on the latest version, that is release 13. Just click on release 13 version. Okay, we'll be landing in this page. Now what we have to do is, here click on books hyperlink. Just click on books hyperlink and here search for file based data import. Control F, search file. Okay, here we have under development. Under development, we have a title called as file based data import for Oracle Supply Chain Management Cloud. Here you have to click on HTML. Click on HTML. It will show all the file based data import templates which are available as a part of Supply Chain Management Cloud. Okay, we are here. Now click on file based data imports. I will to list out all the templates which are available. These are the different templates available as a part of Supply Chain Management Cloud. Fine. Now we need template related to items. Here we have item template. Just click on this item hyperlink. Okay, done. If you want to download the template, here we have a file name called as XLSM template and they provided link. If you click on this link, we can download the template. How to download the template? Directly if you click on the link, it is not going to provide the template. The process is you have to right click on this link and you have to click on save link as. Don't click on that link directly, it won't open any page from where we can download the template. You have to right click on the link and say save link as. Just click on save link as. And create one folder to maintain the template. So ERP3 item FBDI. Place the template within this folder. Okay. So here you can see the object owner is item, the template related to item. So we discussed one point. We have to upload CSV file to UCM. When you place that file in the UCM, within the UCM, the file you have to place in which account they are giving the path, the UCM account. To place this item, within the UCM we have account called as SCM item import. Within this account we have to place this file. Without placing this file within the UCM account also we can execute this process. We'll discuss that also. We can bypass this. Directly we can dump the data into interface table. We'll see that. And one more point here is, so which process we have to submit to import this item data into application? Item import. This is a job we have to use. Okay, this is a job we have to use. These are the interface tables through which interface tables the data will be executed. Fine. Done. Now we downloaded data template from OER. The next step is we have to collect the data from the business. But now for our testing purpose, we have to prepare the data. Reality will just explain this template to business users and will share this template with the business and they'll provide the data. Here to test this functionality, we'll go and prepare the template with the data. Go to the template. Here is the template. Open this template. Okay, this template is macros enabled template. There will be multiple sheets within that. For any message, say close. Done. So when you download the template from the OER, in every template you can find the sample data. Here you could see the sample data in all the different sheets. Okay. Fine. So before that, the first sheet is instructions and CSV generation. Okay. One time you may go through all these instructions so that you can understand how to deal with this template. But anyway, we are going to see how we can work with this template. So after providing the required data within this template, we have to click on this generate CSV file. This will convert this template as a CSV file. Okay. So before you go and do the same from your end, you can read this template once so that you'll have a better understanding about this template. Fine. Now go to the first sheet, system items interface. So here we can find sample data. You can remove all the records. These all are sample records. You can remove all the sample records except one. Just we can keep this one record just for reference. Okay. Transaction type. What we are going to do? We are going to create the item. So batch ID, batch number. You can see the star mark indicates field is required, mandatory. Okay. So batch number and batch ID or batch number not mandatory. I'm just removing. Item number. So already we created rule within the application how item number need to be generated. Still, if you want to provide some item number, you can enter, so that system will use this number only. It will ignore the actual rule which we defined in the system. That means this number will override the rule which we created within the system to create the item numbering. If you provide number here, the same number system will take. If you don't provide any number, system will follow the rule which we defined for our item class level. Okay, anyway, field is optional, you can ignore it. If you provide any number, system will use that number only. You may provide it. If you don't provide, it will use that number. Fine. So the rest of fields, outside processing service flag is required or not, you can set yes or no, y or n. So organization code. So you are going to create this item within which item master organization. You have to provide the organization code here. So all that information we have to take from the instance only, right? So go to item creation task. From there we can take required information to prepare this template. Go to product information management. Go to task list. Say create item. We are not going to create item within the application, just to take the organization name, item class, template, and other details which are required to prepare the template data. We are here. So this is our organization, and this is our item class. And you want to create item by using which template? You can select any one of the template. So you can go with, say, finished goods. Say, so when you create the item, we have to give the organization name, item master organization name, and we want to create the item with the help of which item class we have to provide, and to default the item attributes, which template we want to use. The template is only for the purpose of defaulting the template, defaulting the attributes. Otherwise, all the attributes how we require, we have to go and do set. Instead of setting through manual process, we are simplifying the process of setting attributes with the help of item template. Say for example, these are the details we required at the time of item creation. Okay, so the same information we required within the template also. So take this item organization and description, item description. Okay, once you create the item, okay, so which description you require? That template description not required. Just you have to provide organization code as a mandatory here. Okay, provide it. Description, template name, which template you have to use? Finished goods. So the same you can write here. Okay, finished goods. And source system code. The items which we are preparing, we are taking these items from which application. The client may maintain the items in the different systems, or maybe any one of the legacy system. So that system name you can take, okay, but not mandatory, ignore it. Item class name. By using which item class we are going to create the item, provide item class name. So this is item class. Take this item class into this field. And unit of measurement. Since this is sample data, they are given as each. We have as each, or how exactly, the same you have to take. The values which are available within the instance, those only you have to take. Fine. So here we have as a each as a EA. The same we have to take. So this unit of measurement is not exist within our application. So if you select value here at the time of importing the data from interface to base tables, the record will fail. Life cycle phase. Item creation time, these are mandatory, right? So you have to select. We can go with active. Okay, item status is active, we have saved. Active you can take. And go through other. Item number you can provide, or else you can ignore. If you ignore, system will follow the whatever the rule we created. Item organization. Description you can just provide as ERP tree. Template is finished good. Item class we taken from the application only. Unit of measurement also EA means each. So life cycle phase active, item status active. and go through all the fields or say columns which are available within this template, because this is a sample record we are going to set up as per our requirement. So this costing enabled and all these you can ignore also, you can remove this data anyway. The attributes will get defaulted with the help of template. Okay, this you can just remove, no issues. Based on the template, system will take all those. Just verify all the columns, because this is sample record we are modifying. So what are the data you want to specify as a part of item definition? These are the fields available. User item type. So user item type. Say finished good, you can provide finished good, but anyway this field is optional. Let's provide as a finished good. They're given FG, but that value is not available here. That value here within the application we have as a finished good. You can take the same. Okay, just go through all the columns. There could be some data with any one of the column. If that is required, we can keep as it is, or else we can change or we can remove, since we don't require that. Enable for customer self services. This all will default from the templates. Template already we selected within this. I mean item templates. Item template we selected within this sheet itself, right? So these are the DFF attributes. If you want to capture any additional information through DFFs, so these you can use. Done. So at the time of item creation, so we just whatever the basic information we provide that already we given within the template. And when I talk about specifications, here within the specification, under specification tab, what are the details we have, all system will default from the template only. So in our case also we given the template name. From this template, system will default all the attributes to the item which we are going to create. Okay, done. So this name we can give as ERP tree FBDI item. Done. So the specifications anyway system will take it. And next sheet, item revisions interface. If you are going to set up revisions for item, yes, you can specify the revisions for that item. So in that case we have to specify the item number and again that organization under revision. So at the time of item creation, these are not very much mandatory to set up, not required. You can remove that sample data. And item categories interface, the categories also we'll see later. Even at the time of item creation we didn't set any category for our item, since that is not mandatory. So if you want to include the categories for the items, so which item falls under which category, that you can specify, that also not mandatory, so you can ignore it as of now. Remove that sample data. And relationships, all these here you can see all those tabs, item structures, association, relationships, the categories and all. What are the tabs we have, the same way here also we have the relevant tabs. Whatever the information you want to set, you can set. The relationships and all you can specify, again that item is belongs to which organizations and which item relation type, and all those additional definitions you can create, and those you can manage here. But to create, just create the item, this information is not mandatory. If you require this kind of relations for the item, you can set it up. Anyway, first we'll see within the application how to create the relationships and how to manage, how to set up with item. Once we understand, so if you are going to test this, you can provide that information here. Now this is not mandatory at all. And item associations, okay, item associations with that respective suppliers or organizations and all, you can specify here. So this item you want to associate with which organization and all, you can do it. That you can do within the system also. This also, I'm just removing this data. Is all like EFF, extendable flexi field. Like descriptive flexi field, we have extended flex fields. So where you can add this additional information. This all falls under additional information. DFFs or EFFs, all this you can just create some extended flex fields definition to capture additional information against the item. So within the item we'll create all those. Okay, so at the time, just item creation time, like we can associate it with that item and we can understand. So based on that, you may specify those details here. For now, these are also not mandatory. This is all additional information for item definition. And same translatable extended flex field interface. A lot of information we can associate with the item. Okay, how we created item within the application, the same way we'll create through this template also. These all details are not mandatory to provide here. Okay, once we test the same within the application, when you are testing through this template, you can provide it if you want to test through this template. Okay, done. And here also we have a sample record. So all are additional information, EFF, extendable flex fields. So this all you can remove, not
Lakshman?
for us. Yeah, please.
Lakshman, maybe I missed it. What is the extended flex field? What is that concept though?
You know,
we heard key flex field, descriptive flex.
We know DFF, right? It is some advanced function to DFF. I'll be covering that. I'll be covering the classes. I'll show you how to create it. Okay,
no
even
problem.
DFF also will create. We'll create DFF and EFF. Okay, how we can use with item. Okay, what we can capture with the EFF, which is not possible with the DFF. All will be testing. Okay, fine.
How do we know which are the required columns over here in the sheet?
We create
required columns, asterisk.
Yes. Here you don't see anything as a mandatory. Nothing.
Yeah, if you see in first tab also, arg code, it's not showing as a mandatory, right? Can you go back to first sheet?
Yes. Yeah, but we know those, right? These are mandatory. Organization code and all mandatory at the time of item creation. Otherwise, it will fail.
Yeah, that is true, but it's not showing, right? So that's what
template it might be missing. Okay, once basically they indicate the fields with the star mark. I think within this template the specification is missing. Basically, this organization code they have to show as a mandatory. Description mandatory, template mandatory, right? We know the process, right? Here, when you are creating, all need to be selected as mandatory. I think that
from the
missing specification is missing. Template. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, Lakshman, like if you look at the rapid implementation, they indicated the required columns in asterisk.
Correct. Here also they specify might be in this template it's a missing. Okay. Any template, take any template. Even see they written also here. The star marks, the asterisk indicates as a field is mandatory. Okay, so these are the different sheets. So the first sheet is enough to provide the basic item definition information. The rest of information, how you want to manage the item, accordingly you can provide. Okay, so done. Just save this record. So after providing the data, you can save it. So it has to take into the same, no issues. Again, it is asking to save this file. by selecting the same template, I'll save it. Yes, replace. Done. So after preparing the data, what we have to do is go to instructions and CSV generation. Click on generate CSV file. Because we have multiple sheets within the same template, right? That is the reason it has to identify all those. Now system is generating zip file. Okay, it is generating zip file. Save the zip file into same folder. Save. And the CSV file it is generating. Whatever the CSV file system is generating, all CSV files it will take into the same zip file automatically. We don't need to move the CSV files into zip file. System item interface CSV file. Say yes. And item revisions interface, for each sheet what we have in the template, it is creating separate CSV files. Say save. And the categories sheet, but reality we don't have data in those CSV files. Save it. For each sheet what we have in the template, it will create separate CSV file. You may have data, may not have data, but it will create, since those are part of template. Say save for all. Done. CSV and zip file have been created. Say OK. Now go to this folder. Okay, all the files what system is created as CSV, those all you can find within the zip file. Open this zip, created CSV files. So reality we have a data within this only, this CSV only, right? System item interface, which is the first sheet within the template. Okay, rest of all doesn't have any data. We didn't provide, since those are optional optional section. Close it. Now what is the next step? Close this. So what is the next step? We have to place this file in UCM, right? That's what we discussed. I think I didn't save this, but anyway, first we downloaded file. From OER we downloaded. Next step is prepare template with the data. Yes, we completed. Convert template as CSV file. Yes, we completed. The next step is upload CSV file into UCM. Okay, we'll go and place this CSV file to UCM. How to place this CSV file in UCM? Go to navigator. We'll cancel this. Okay, go to navigator. Under tools, we have a task called as file import and export. this is connected with the UCM, Universal Content Management. Any data imports or exports happens through this UCM only. Just click on this task, file import and export. To place the file in the UCM, you have to click on upload. And before we place the file in the UCM, here you can just look at the account, in which account you have to place the file. Within the UCM, the account called as SCM item import. Within this account, we have to place the item template related CSV file. So browse that file. We have that file within this folder. So you have to select this zip file. So only zip file only can be selected here. Okay, directly if you are trying to select CSV, it won't accept. Okay, select zip file, and where this file need to be placed. So go to SCM, one second. I think the path is missing within this SCM item import. But it is not mandatory you have to place in the UCM. Without placing UCM also you can select the file. So basically if you have some path and all, I think the path is missing in this environment. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, basically the same path, whatever they given here, the same path you can see SCM item import. So that the path you can select here and you can say save and close, that will be placed in UCM. Without placing the file in the UCM also you can take this file into process. You can ignore this, you can ignore, no issues. You can bypass it. So directly if the file is there in the UCM, the file data you can populate into interface. Even if file is not there in the UCM also, you can populate the file data into interface tables. So next step would be populate data into interface tables. So when you are trying to populate the data in the interface table, the file is available in the UCM or in our desktop, any one of the folder. You can go with any option. You can select the file which is available in the UCM account, or you can select from the desktop. Two options are available. Okay, it's not mandatory how to place the file in the UCM. Fine. How to populate the data into interface tables which is available in the CSV file. So you can go to schedule process. Go to schedule process. There is one job called as load interface file for import. Click on schedule new process. Search for job called as load interface file for import. This is a common job for any data. If you are going to load items, same job you have to use. If you are going to load suppliers data, the same job. If you are going to load customers data or any other transactional data, same job we have to use. Okay, for any data, same job you have to use. The file job name is load interface file for import. Load interface file for import. Select this file job. So what it will do, it will transfer setup or transactional data files from a user specified location to interface tables. Okay, it will populate the interface tables from the data file where you have to select the data file. User specified location. From user specified location, the data which is available in the respective file, those will be populated in the interface tables. That is the purpose of this job. Say OK. Here we have to select the import process name. The import process name you can see here. Import item import. Import process name is import item import. Select item import. Select item import. Yep. Item import. So if you have a data file in the UCM, we just try to place the file in the UCM. Since account was not available, we didn't place. Say you placed. If you place the file in the UCM, that file would be available from this LOV. You can find that file here. You can select it. Since we didn't place that file in the UCM, directly you can upload the file to this parameter from the respective folder. Already you have a file within the UCM, you can find in this LOV, you can select it as a parameter. Since the file is not available in the UCM, directly you can upload file here. That goes to UCM only. So you have to select the file directly. Say OK. Now this file also will be placed in the UCM. Through UCM process only data would get populated interface. Where this file will be placed in the UCM, based on this import process, system can understand and it will place. Done. Say submit. Now the data which is available within this file, zip file or CSV file, within this zip file we have CSV files. The data which is available in those files, the data would get populated in the interface tables. Click on submit. Say OK. Just refresh to see the status of this job. Each CSV file, system is running the separate job. Load file to interface means within that file, whatever the data we have, that system is populating in the interface tables. System will identify rest of all CSV files as empty. Only within one CSV we have the item definition data. All jobs are succeeded. Yeah, please. Any question?
If I use UCM, yeah, Lakshman, if I use
same process,
UCM,
same process, no difference. At the time of submission, you can select it. Already if you have file in the UCM, in the LOV you can see, you can select. Since we didn't place in the UCM, we uploaded directly from the folder, that's all. No difference, no difference. Whether you want to select that file on the fly when you are going to submit this process, or first you have to keep that file in the UCM so that would be available at the time of submission of the process as a parameter. You can take the decision and you can do it. Okay, it's not mandatory you have to place in the UCM. When you select that file as a parameter, when you are submitting this load interface file for import process or job, it would be placed in the UCM. Through UCM only this process will be executed. Done. Now the data is available in the interface. If you want to see the data which is available in the interface, you have to go and write a SQL query and you can see that. That will see as a part of report definition. Again, we have to go to BI catalog and from there we have to write. I'll show you that, no issues. So now the data is available in the interface. you want to import,
Lakshman?
yep.
So if there is no intervention of UCM here, if we are directly loading from the our local machine, so
Correct.
why there is a need of UCM? Or any specific reason for
See,
we need to load
yeah, yeah,
UCM and
got you.
then
Got you. See, I have all the files with me, and you want to execute all these process. So what I can do is all the files I can place in the UCM. Whenever you connect to this instance, all the files will be available in the UCM. From any user from any location, they can connect to instance and they can execute this process by selecting the same files as a parameter in the respective process. It is something staging. You can place the files temporary purpose. Otherwise, what I have to do is these files I have to mail you, right?
okay. So a kind of common repository kind of thing
Repository
where
only.
we can place all the files.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Universal content management. The content to manage the content as a repository, you can use this. Fine.
Right.
Yeah. The next step is the data which is available. Yeah, please.
So in this case, that UCM is not available, right? Whatever it is shown in the document. So it will be stored in a different location now?
No.
The
It
file
was
which you
placed over there. It was not displaying the path account. For us, it is not displaying reality. It would be there. It was not getting displayed for us when we tried. Okay. Just it was not displaying to us. Okay, it was not displaying to us. That's all. The accounts will be there. Some issue within this instance, it was not displaying. That's what we tried, right? So we were trying to find this account. It was not showing for us from front end, but that would be there as a part of instance. That is the reason when we selected import process, it will be placed in that account only. Through that account path only, it will be executing. In other words, just even it's not mandatory for the system. It has to go and find that file within that path. On the fly, we are giving, right, as a parameter we are giving. That is a file which need to be executed. That's all. Okay, fine.
So
Yeah, please. Sorry, somebody is asking a question, I guess.
I can see that there are some control files over here. So can we make any changes in the control file? Because sometimes there is a chance that the business may be while inputting the data into the format like item template. So there are chances that some wildcard characters may be included in that, and in general,
These all changes you can do
using
in case
control.
of on-premise. Yeah, got you. I got you. It's all you can do in case of on-premise. On-premise environment you can do. In case of cloud, you have to go as is. Okay, you cannot do any changes. If you try to do some changes within the template,
Yeah.
removing the fields and all, this process will fail.
Even in path, cannot change, Lakshman?
Sorry?
Even in path. PAS.
No.
PAS.
Cloud. Any cloud. Okay, we cannot. Okay. In cloud, it could be SaaS or PaaS, IaaS. Since it's a cloud, you cannot. On-premise, yes, you can do however you want to manage, how you want to execute, what logics you want to write, what validations you want to set while you are just loading this data into the application. Fine. So just we populated data into interface table. Now we have to import data into base tables. For that, we have to use the same job. What's a job? Item import. Item import job only we have to use. Just so again, if you click on schedule new process, what system will do? It will default the same job. That is the reason what you could do is refresh this navigation. Schedule processes. Schedule new process. What is the job name? Item import. Search for item import. So for every job and every report, it will displays the information what purpose the job we are running or what the report we are running. Okay, what it will do, it will import items into product hub, nothing but our inventory application. Within that, the base tables what we have there, it will be loading. Say okay. So you may specify these parameters optionally. So there may be a lot of data within the interface tables, but which organization related records you want to import. If you want to specify, you can specify, or else system will look for all organization related item definitions which are available within the interface tables. Search for our organization. With this organization only, we have item definition within the interface which we are trying to import into base tables. Then submit. Say okay. Refresh. So now the data which is available in interface tables, if anything wrong with the data, it will fail. And it shows it generates the reports, and you can see that. Say for example, now this process ended with error. If this process is ended with error, what you can do is, so wherever you see error message, you can select that job and scroll little down. The below it will generate the output file here. Now it is succeeded without any issue. That is the reason it's not showing. Basically, this is how you can find the log file or output files here. Attachments none for this. Okay.
In case of failure, all the data won't go, or only specific failed data won't go. Base tables.
Specific records only. Specific records. Which records has some issues, those the data won't be through. It's very simple. The record is there in the interface. So you are getting some records from other application. So when we have a data records within the interface, all records are individual records, right? Once you submit import, so I think it ended with error. What's wrong with this? We'll see that. Item type, the value attribute user item type is not valid. User item type is not valid. We selected which is exist in the application only, right?
You need to put the code of the item type, not the full description.
One second. How it is?
You put finished good.
Okay. The display name I provided, yes. It should be FG, right? That's how they given. Just we changed it. Correct. Even that field is just optional. You can ignore it, but as a part of record preparation is selected. Anyway, so this also just we can understand how you can see the log to identify the issues with this process. So where is that field? Yep. So display name we given just whatever we could see at the time of item creation time, that we see. just go with the same. Now again we have to submit this process. Now what I'll do is I'll delete this. Generate CSV. Save into same folder. Okay, we can just bypass that UCM process. It's not mandatory. Directly we can go and submit the load interface file for import. Okay, the file is ready. Now you can just, we are here, refresh this navigation. Schedule processes. Load interface file for import. Say okay. So item import. The import process name is item import. The file we don't have in UCM, directly we can select. Browse the file from the same folder. Earlier one we deleted and we create a new one, right? Submit this.
Lakshman, like I have a two-step process. I load items first, and I want to load item
Import.
category second.
Import, directly import. That's all. Just two steps process. So or if file is ready, that's all. You have files ready, then directly you can load it to interface, then you can import into base tables. That's all. So all record status is succeeded. Yeah, please.
Yeah, my question is like, can I load item categories by itself without using items?
Yes, you can load later point of time also. Yes, you can do that. So now we are not loading without categories. Later you can just prepare the same template. Within the template you can specify the items. Okay, you can specify the item, for which item, which template, which cat. Okay, you are talking template. You are talking item template or item category.
That's right, Lakshman. The first step, I loaded all items, 50 items.
Okay.
Second step, I want to load just categories for those items. But I don't fill the first sheet.
You can do that. For the categories, we have a separate sheet, right? Within the template, we have separate sheet. Yes, within that, later after loading the item, also you can go and prepare, and system will identify the items within the application, and it will just associate those categories with the respective items. You can do that. Even at the time of item creation, also how we do, we first create item as a part of item definition. You can just associate those categories, or else later any point of time you can do. However, it is possible in the system through manual process. The same is applicable if you are going to execute this process. Okay, any point of time you can do that. You can do it for multiple items at a time after creating the items also. But you use the same template and provide the data, generate CSV, and follow the same process. Here, if you notice, use the same template. Okay, here you have to specify the item number and organization code and which catalog and which category name you have to specify and submit. So since you are specifying item number here, which is already existed within the application, it will apply. That we can do. Okay, now we have to import. Submit the schedule process. Schedule new process. Which job we have to submit? Item import. Search for item import job. Select item import and say OK. So it's optional, you may select the organization. Submit. Now this record will be through. Okay, just meantime we'll navigate to that item definition page. Fine. We can see the status as succeeded. Done. Go to manage items. manage items. Search for the item which we imported just now. This is the one. So this is the name we given, right? So this is the name we given, ERP3 FBDI item. Okay, the same. So unit of measurement we given each, and other information also, whatever you specify accordingly it will fetch. Since we given this template as a finished good, the specifications, if you go through the specifications, it will apply the same attributes which are part of the template. So costing, all these set to yes. Purchasing. So however we have attributes within those, accordingly it will apply.
Lexman system is giving an item code generated. It's not getting from Excel.
Okay, item number.
Yeah.
Item number we given. Now basically if you provide, it has to override. It has to override. Why it is not taking? That is the logic basically. That's how it should work. But here it is taking whatever the numbering we given. So basically it has
Maybe
to,
in the case of
override.
user define it, it will take.
No, not like that. Whatever it may be. So here if you provide the number, system will give the priority to this number only. Okay, it has to take this number, but here it is following the same rule which is defined within the item category. So rest of information you can manage here, associations or any other information. If you later stage, if you want to add the categories and all, yes, you can just put in that sheet and you can load it. But here by default, what are the categories are part of this our root item class, those are already defaulted to this item class called as ERP3 computers, and it is just getting defaulted here. Fine. So this is how we can load the items. So in tomorrow's session we'll just talk about the inventory, various inventory transactions we'll discuss, and we can associate the roles with this user, and we provision the access to this user and role specific inventory organization. For this specific user, what are the roles we are going to assign to those roles will give the access to our inventory organization, so that system will allow us to record the transactions within that inventory organization. Okay, we'll discuss various transactions which we can process within the inventory application. After completing the inventory part, then we can go with the purchasing. Anyway, that takes time. So first we can start with the inventory related transactions in tomorrow's session. So any questions from anyone, please?